Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Telarus Executive Interview. I'm Richard Murray, Chief Commercial Officer at Telarus, and I am joined today by my friend Craig Patterson, the Senior Vice President of Global Channels at Aryaka. Craig, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, my man. I'm excited to be here.
Now, Craig, you're a longtime veteran of the channel, and you've been at Aryaka now for a few years. What are we at this point?
It's hard to believe, man. I blinked, and all of a sudden, it's close to 3 years. This summer will be 3 years, believe it or not, and it's been awesome, man. I'm having a blast, and very excited to talk more about our announcement here today.
Yeah, it's gone very quick. I think that you've been able to see and experience the evolution that Aryaka has gone through in your time. And from my seat, it's all been very, very exciting. You guys have continued to lean into the channel and do unique and exciting things. Where would you frame where Aryaka is as a company right now in relation to the channel?
I mean, that's the reason why I'm sitting here today. And so when I was interviewing to come into Aryaka, the one thing that really stood out to me was the fact that they were all in on channel, really, really channel centric, and had gotten most of their success historically through channel. In fact, we're close to about 85% now of all of our revenue historically, and we're a touch over 100 million, have all come through the channel. So that was music to my ears, and that's really what drew me in over here.
So, yeah, super exciting. As I look at who you guys are, you don't just talk about the products that you have. Hey, we can kind of do, like, you guys, it's not slideware. What you do is true and unified and complete. Talk about what it feels like to be in a position at a company that it truly is who they say they are and could deliver.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that really stands out about Aryaka. I mean, we're everything that we've delivered is purpose built to provide an unbelievable experience for customers. And so when you think about the complexity that exists today for our partners and for their customers, having a solution like Aryaka offers is really a differentiator, because we're one of the only companies now that truly has this unified approach. And when we talk about unified, Richard, what we're talking about is we're talking about the convergence, the networking world converging with the security world. And so, a single vendor that can help companies transform into this single architecture, networking and security together.
And I want to give you the opportunity now to talk about some of those products, because part of why you're here today with me is to talk about some exciting new announcements.
Yeah.
I think, as I look at how the as-a-service economics and delivery model has completely changed the industry, you guys are in a great position for that. Why don't you talk to us today and kind of introduce the new products that Aryaka is offering?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think many partners know Aryaka from, the last 12 years or so, when we provided, a world-class, SD-WAN architecture for companies. And so we've always had the ability to help companies sort of modernize their environment, move from these legacy environments or legacy networks such as MPLS into this, SD-WAN global architecture. What we're talking about today is we're talking about the unification of bringing networking and security together on a single architecture. And so what that means is we now are a single vendor for companies that truly want to not only modernize, not only optimize by adding some of the SaaS acceleration that we do, but also completely transform their architecture and add in a single vendor to take care of the networking, the optimization, the SaaS acceleration, but also introduce the security policies on the single architecture. And so specifically what we're talking about is we're adding elements like Secure Web Gateway, which provides, content filtering for companies, and it provides the ability to block out certain levels of traffic. We're talking about the ability to add anti-malware, into the architecture. Things like intrusion detection services, which is a logging service to keep track of potential threats and breaches and keep track of those, so we can make sure at the end of the day we're protecting those companies. And all this is done in an architecture not only for branch locations, for headquarters, but also all the remote users.
We've talked a bit about the product, the overall. I want to make sure that we talk about what the overall benefit is to the customers. What do we need to make sure that our advisors are talking to their customers about around the benefit of a service like this?
So truly, we get ourselves in a situation we can help these companies transform globally, depending on their locations, into this single architecture. And so the way we built this, which is very unique, is what we have is called a single pass architecture. And so at the end of the day, we're looking at that traffic only one time. And so we've got roughly, 40 global POPs around the world. Anytime the companies subscribe to our architecture, they're passing traffic. We're only looking at that packet one time. We're making decisions based upon the routing decisions from a network perspective, but also we're looking at all the security policies they built in. And so the way we've done that is we've built this unified control plane. And so really is when you think of the unified control plane, it's really a portal on steroids, right? Where if you're a network management professional, you can create your firewall policies in a matter of minutes. You can create all of your other security policies, and you can control all that in this unified control plane. And you also control all the network optimization perspective within this control plane. And so the second piece of that is we've created a distributed data plane. And so when you think about those policies that you're creating in that unified control plane, those are pushed out. Those are pushed out to all of our POPs globally. And so all of our POPs globally have those routing decisions, those security policies that live on them so they can make decisions in that single pass architecture. And so, in a nutshell, that's what we're excited about. I mean, we're going to be able to truly help these companies do the three things that are most important to them. And that's one, reduce complexity, because a lot of these companies today are dealing in this vendor environment. You guys see it, I'm sure, Richard, every single day. Number two, companies are looking for ways to be more economical. Many of these budgets are being cut, so they're being asked to do more with less. And the third thing is they want to increase efficiencies, increase efficiencies in the workload as they roll out to these new modern architectures. And so at the end of the day, that's what we're about. That's what this new offering does. And we're super excited to partner with the Telarus network of partners out there to bring this to market.
Well, and all of that stuff quickly gets too smart for me. It's wonderful to have incredible access to folks like on your team, our security engineers to walk through it. I can tell you what I do clearly understand in talking to our partners and also to security engineers is, one of the unique aspects that you guys have. A lot of suppliers have networking and security, but to be able to bring it all together, networking, security, and then what's a bit more unique is the observability. I think that's a really, you're bringing it all together in the one pass. It's a great product offering. Excited to see where this goes over the next little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes back to those three things I was talking about earlier. I mean, in a nutshell, like a lot of these companies are dealing with complexity. So the value is we dramatically increase the ability of these companies to, move into this single pass architecture, which the benefit there is they remove the complexity. So it's all about removing the complexity, removing the number of vendors that companies are dealing with day in and day out to make things a lot more simple. So it's adding that agility, adding the single vendor, and more importantly too is helping companies save money. And so in many cases, by moving to these modern architectures, Richard, we dramatically reduce the overhead and the cost they're spending on a monthly basis as we move into these architectures. So that's really it in a nutshell. Creating that unified approach, networking and security together, reducing the complexity, and helping companies save money. And the other thing is, when you look at our benefit, we're all about the experience. So at the end of the day, of partners, they bring us these opportunities, they bring us their trusted relationships. We're going to make sure at the end of the day they look good, and so we're going to make sure the implementation, the management of those services is world class. And so we're going to roll out the red carpet. We're going to treat them like they should be treated, and we're gonna make them look good at the end of the day.
And so if our partners want to learn more, maybe they're aware of Aryaka, they've dealt with you in the past, or maybe this is brand new and they're excited to hear more about this new product. How do you want them to engage with you?
Yeah, so we've got a number of calls on a recurring basis. So the first step is follow us on LinkedIn. You're going to get invited to the recurring calls that we have. We can get our teams connected through your team as well, Richard. So we can connect our local channel managers in the field with your partners if they want to learn more. And we're actually going to be launching a roadshow. And so over the next quarter, we're going to be coming to the major markets throughout the next 3 months, and we'll be holding trainings in market where partners can come meet us. They can shake our hands. They can learn more about this new value proposition.
All right. Exciting stuff. Well, as we close here, anything else that you want to share, a final thought with our advisors?
We appreciate the opportunity. We're super bullish on the market. We think there's tremendous opportunities for our partners. We think this offering is a unique one, and it will really create some differentiators for the partner community. And we're looking forward to having a ton of success with Telarus.
Well, there you have it. Craig, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you for joining us here in this executive interview. Craig Patterson, my guest at Aryaka. We appreciate it. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.